So this is a post by the Slow Factory. They do really good work on Instagram and websites as well. But so there's, of course, we focus on the human genocide aspect of things, understandably. And also, it's really important to highlight the ecocide part of things as tied into settler colonialism. So whether that be the destruction of I mean, I don't have enough time to go through the destruction of everything that the United States has destroyed since its inception. When you decide that your beliefs, that your ghosts and your goblins are based on property, and that property has more rights than nature, then of course you're going to F up nature in order to enclose and restrict and like prioritize the profit of property. So this is that same idea, because Israel, as a settler colonialist state, is carrying this on. This part, like this stems from partially from military operations, obviously, but also from resource exploitation and infrastructural destruction. So, for instance, deforestation, and like the thing with occupied Palestine here, it's really grotesque, is that one of the things that Israel said that they were going to do was, green the desert, as if that's a thing that a desert needs, that it's not an ecosystem unto itself, because you're idiots and you don't know. But what they do is they will cut down and they will destroy native ecosystems and plant like European pine trees, which you don't have to be like an arborist to know that shit won't do well in the deserts of the Levant. So it's horrible for the ecosystem. It completely destroys the land and the fertility of the land and everything like that. And the trees themselves don't do well. It depletes a lot of water resources, obviously. It destroys agricultural lands, as well as obviously the people who live on them. And it, specifically in Palestine, in occupied Palestine, this trickles down, if you will, to Palestinians have less than 13% access to clean drinking water. Israel's citizens have 100% access to clean water. They've diverted water from the Jordan River, over-extracted from the mountain and coastal aquifers that have led to severe water shortage for Palestinians. On top of that, wastewater from Israeli settlements has polluted Palestinian farmlands and water sources, with untreated sewage discharged into the West Bank's valleys and streams. Gas and oil exploitation. This was, of course, a lot of people were like, this is why they're attacking Gaza. It's not, but it's, they don't mind having access to this. There's a gas field. So, in Gaza, so like through military enforced maritime restrictions, Palestinians, of course, have no access to that. Israel's negotiated with international energy companies to exploit that gas.
Right. And they actually found out that this gas was there. This gas field was there early to mid 2000s. And Gaza then signed deals with some gas entity, I can't remember which one, basically saying, you can pump this gas and Gazans will get paid for it. But Israel was never going to let that happen, because that would mean a lot of money in Gaza's coffers. And what would Gaza do with money? Well, they could have partnerships with other countries. They could build up their infrastructure and things like that if they're able to get the stuff into Gaza, which of course Israel stops it, although there used to be a connection to Egypt that there isn't any longer. Even though Gaza found these gas fields, signed gas deals with companies, Israel has made sure that Gaza gets zero of that money, which so far doesn't exist. None of it's been exploited.
Another point of this is that those military operations and the targeting of dirty energy goes hand in hand. So, for instance, in 2006, when Israeli airstrikes targeted the GA power station, which caused a massive oil spill in Lebanon, along Lebanon's Mediterranean coast. The spill devastated marine life and severely compromised the livelihoods of coastal communities dependent on fishing. So Israel will attack power stations and oil refine, like places that refine oil and treat oil and things like that on purpose. Again, there's none of this like, oh, we didn't know. They always know what they're doing. They have the largest surveillance apparatus in the world. Forest fires and land degradation. This is in Lebanon, but this is also, we see this in occupied Palestine, where they'll set fire to olive tree groves. Israeli shelling and airstrikes have led to extensive wildfires in southern Lebanon, destroying large forested areas. That, of course, contributes to soil erosion and loss of biodiversity. The use of cluster munitions, which, by the way, is illegal according to international law, but I think we've pretty much established by now that Israel doesn't give about international law. Okay. The use of cluster munitions has left unexploded ordnance scattered across agricultural lands, which, of course, poses risks to farmers. Now moving to Syria, the water resource control, the Golan Heights, which is part of Syria, is a vital water resource as it supplies the Jordan River. That's the river from the river to the sea, by the way, in case you didn't know. The Jordan River, Yarmouk River, and Sea of Galilee are all sourced by the Golan Heights. It's one of the most strategically important regions in the Middle East. I wonder why Israel wants it. Since Israel's occupation, it has imposed severe restrictions on Syrian communities' access to water, leading to drought and agricultural collapse. As of now, Israel controls 40% of Jordan and Syria's shared water resources. 40%. Israel controls springs, rivers, aquifers, which contribute to the Jordan River's flow and that have been heavily diverted by Israel. And I mean, there's water theft by Israeli settlements, stealing water access.
They also destroy olive groves.
Yeah. Desertification and agricultural decline. I mean, like the list, I mean, this is just like one little report that the Slow Factory did, which is great and important, but this is just one, like, these are just a few examples. So I think it's important, again, because if you know me, you know that my thing is connecting issues, and like if we stay in our silos, then we'll die in our silos. We have to connect the issue of settler colonialism to genocide and to ecocide, also because we are a part of nature. Like, we have to start thinking of it that way, as opposed to like, oh, nature's over there and we can live without you, thank you very much.
Or worse yet, we can destroy you and exploit you to no end, and we'll be fine. Right.
Yeah. So we have to start connecting these things, because otherwise we'll just stay like, no, I'm really focused on eco issues. Okay, well then you have to also care about this over here, or vice versa.